Okay, I know I said we were gonna do keyword searches first, but the top post on the Hole Inspector subreddit is so fucking batshit. I have to do this right now. You ready for this? You're not ready for this. Am I the hole for not believing my boyfriend that suddenly became gay due to the altitude difference when he was on a work trip in Utah? I'm tired of them putting chemicals in Utah that are turning the frickin' workers gay. I can hardly believe that I'm writing this or that it happened, but I am, and it did, so here we go. I, 28 female, have been with my boyfriend, 29 male, for 3 years. Every now and then he has to go to Utah for a few days because his team has a customer service branch that operates out of there. I got a text from his co-workers who has become a friend of ours, and it said that on the trip, my boyfriend cheated on me with some guy on our customer care team. I did not believe it at first, because first of all, my boyfriend is always identified as straight, and second of all, I just couldn't believe it. When he got home, I asked him about it, basically expecting him to confirm it was nonsense. Instead, he got real quiet and had to sit down and said he had to tell me something. He said it was true. I did have a one night stand with a guy. I couldn't believe it. I asked him if he was telling me he was gay or bisexual, and regardless, cheating is cheating. He insisted he was not gay, but the strangest thing happened. He said that when he was at dinner with his Utah coworkers, he, quote unquote, suddenly became gay. I was like, what? What the fuck? He said he thinks it was, quote, due to the altitude, end quote. I was like, you're fucking with me, right? But he said after he had done it with this guy, he got really confused as to, quote unquote, all of the sudden he was gay. He said that higher altitudes can have an impact on how people think and on their emotions. And he thinks that the high altitude made him gay, temporarily. He said that as soon as he landed back home, he was back to being straight. But he wasn't gay on the plane higher than what Utah. You're right. Imagine. I was like, did he get drugged or something? But he said that was not possible. They were always in a group at dinner, which is when he quote unquote became gay and was only alone with the guy afterwards. He said he had done a lot of thinking, and on the drive back from the airport, he confirmed within himself that he is straight and that his only conclusion could be that he was temporarily turned gay due to the Sorry, I did the math. I did the science, babe. I calculated it all in my head. I'm totally straight now. I was like, whatever, I guess we're breaking up. He looked at me confused. I was like, gay or not, you did cheat on me. He said it wasn't his fault that, quote, human actions are just a byproduct of accidental brain chemistry. This is the most mental gymnastics I've ever heard, trying to get out of like being caught while cheating. And that, quote, his chemistry had been altered through no fault of his own due to the higher altitudes of Utah. He said he, quote unquote, couldn't believe I would blame him for something, quote unquote, medical and scientific. He really looked bewildered that I was angry about this. I don't know, maybe he's convincing and I'm a rube, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm overreacting. Like, I know it sounds insane, but is it possible to actually change your sexual orientation due to emotional changes brought on by altitude? Is that possible? And if it is, am I overreacting? Should I throw away a 3-year relationship for this? He's acting like I'm being rude and weird. I'm confused. Oh, yeah. Well, it is wrong. Let's get that ambiguously straight. It is wrong. However, we did just witness a quadruple corkscrew backflip level of mental Olympics. I'm so high I could fuck a guy. Do you say no homo on the way? That will cancel it out. I am gay, so if I go to Utah, will it make me straight? This is important for scientific research. The top comment here is, been to Utah a ton. Haven't felt the slightest change in sexuality. You realize he's feeding you a crock of shit, right? Maybe because you've been to Utah so often, you did in fact become so gay that you went out to the other side and transformed back to straight. Just a thought. Reddit is fucking on it today. This might be the funniest hole I've ever inspected. Did you see OP's comment, by the way? I don't know, I've read a lot of comments, almost all of them, and it turns out there's a general consensus that it's not true. I knew it the entire time in my head. I just let my heart give me doubts. I know I sound absurd in my post questioning if it was really possible. Yet I couldn't bring myself to accept it. Now I do. I met my boyfriend just this afternoon. He acted like nothing was abnormal. I told him it was over. He acted like I thought he was joking. I said, come on, he cheated on me. He said he couldn't believe I was blaming him for it. It was the altitude, he kept saying. Like seriously, he said it like 15 times in a row. He was insistent. I told him it didn't matter if the altitude made him gay. He still had a choice to not cheat on me. He accused me of being a bigot. I said it's over, I left. He has texted me many times claiming that he was only temporarily and unwillingly gay due to the altitude. He is sticking to this story to the end. Well, I'm gonna block him and that's that. No, you're not the asshole and your boyfriend is gaslighting the shit out of you. That's an altitude problem, all right. Head too far up his own ass, yup. All right, new Dickie going live, here we go. Am I the hole for letting my kids loot my brother's house to prove my point? My brother and his family came for a visit last month. My kids and I play with Lego and we have fun leaving little dioramas around my house. Just silly stuff like a fight between Iron Man and Darth Vader on the loot llama. It's just our way of leaving Easter eggs around the house. My nephew really liked them and decided to take a few home. When we noticed they were missing, I asked my brother to bring them back. He said that it was just kids being kids and that he would bring them back the next time we saw each other. I saw him for coffee and reminded him beforehand that I wanted all of our stuff back. He forgot to bring the toys. Okay, game on. We went over to his place for barbecue. I told my kids that unless all our stuff was returned to us when we got there, literally anything in the house was fair game. Like the godless barbarians they went to town. When we left, I don't think there were any remotes, small electronics, or beer mugs left at his house. I actually had to sneak the dog back into the house before we left. I started getting calls on our way home. I ignored them. When I got home, I returned his calls. He said a bunch of stuff was missing from his house. I said I would check with the kids. He said that I fucking well knew what happened, that he wanted his shit back. I said I would box it up and return it the next time we saw each other, as long as we got our Lego back. He was at my house with my Lego later that evening. He had even accidentally included stuff that wasn't ours. I returned it and his stuff. I told him that that's how we would be dealing with his kid in the future. He is pissed off that he had to make a special trip to return my stuff. My parents think that there is a huge difference between an 8-year-old taking Lego minifigures and a couple of teenagers pillaging their uncle's house. Am I the asshole? Yes, but it was fucking hilarious. So, yeah. So when his shit is stolen, he wants it back same day. Exactly. Absolutely. Shitty but justified 100%. Oh God, let me look at the comments here. What does Reddit have to say? Oh, someone responded to that, except it wasn't even tit for tat. It was very obvious there was no intention to keep the objects taken from the brother's house. It was an object lesson. Reddit says not the asshole. Like straight up, the top comment that has a judgment is not the asshole. Like, this is immaturity from all sides, all the way down the line. It's funny, but no, the only one who learned a lesson is the brother who just got lazy about parenting his kid, right? Honestly, if I were coming at this from the brother's side, if I were in the brother's shoes, I would also think this is fucking hilarious and be like, you're right, I'll bring your Lego, I'll be right there. But again, I wouldn't be lazy with the parenting of my kid either, so. Oh no, let's search. Let's do keyword searches. Let's start with cozy. Am I the whole for hiding the fact that I inherited over $785,000 and a nice middle-class home from my girlfriend? He hid it from his girlfriend, or he inherited everything from his girlfriend? You know, that's a good point. The way that it's worded, it does sound like he could have inherited that from his girlfriend. Yeah, I'm assuming it means he hid his inheritance from his girlfriend. Yeah. Throwaway, because I have friends who know my Reddit username and they browse the sub very often. So when both my parents died 15 months apart, I received over $785,000 from my father, and I inherited a middle-class home from my mother. The thing is, I don't want my friends or my current girlfriend to know about my financial situation, because I want to use the money, or at least a few $1,000s, towards an emergency fund and save the rest towards my future kids' college tuition if I ever have any. What? If they ask for money from you, if you tell them this and they're like, yeah, give me money, they aren't your friends. No, I don't have any debt. Also, I want to have the house for personal usage, as I currently live in a cozy apartment by myself. However, I'm afraid that if anybody found out, they would try to use me or get me for my money. I want people to see me for who I am and not because of what I obtained. So am I the asshole for hiding my financial situation towards my friends and significant other? I feel like I need more information. Top comment is, if you're worried that your friends and your girlfriend would use you for your money, you should dump those friends and the girlfriend and get new ones. That's a super weird trust issue to have, but still want to keep these people in your life. Yeah. If I inherited a bunch of money, I wouldn't tell my friend shit either. My partner though, but OP and his GF may not be that serious. Yeah, I don't know. We'll be together for 2 years in July. I am 25, she is 26. I do believe we have a solid relationship. We know our boundaries, and if something makes us uncomfortable, we know to talk about it. Aside from the money/house, the only real secrets I have are minor things like first crush, celebrity I always liked. I feel like he's feeling a little insecure. I don't really think this is an am I the asshole situation. He should get a financial advisor. General consensus from what I've heard is to keep it need to know only. Yeah. But also, it shouldn't be such a big deal to talk about money with people. It is, unfortunately, but it shouldn't be. Oh, the one that I sent you the other day? Oh, yeah, that one. That one's gonna make us mad. But now I'm
high on life,
and I'm feeling too good to get too angry about it. Am I the whole for breaking a needless promise after fixing a situation? I was gonna wait until it was over for you to extrapolate your own decision from this, but that just, like, literally the way that you word this title makes you sound like an asshole. But I fixed it. You're right. Right. A while back, my significant other and I hit a rough patch. Oh no, this is gonna be bad, huh? Oh no. Oh no. I don't know if I can read this with a straight face. I'm an avid player of Star Citizen, and admittedly, I tend to go overboard with it. A few months ago, during a sale, I impulsively spent our saved down payment for a house on virtual spaceships.
Oh God.
No, dude. So you don't have a house? I have concepts of a house. Understandably, she was furious and temporarily left. I realized my mistake, apologized, and took an extra job to replenish our savings. I'm close to restoring our financial status to its original state, though it will be another 6 months to fully recover, not accounting for my personal debt. As part of reconciling, she asked me not to purchase any more spaceships for 6 months. You can't expect me to not buy a fake spaceship in a video game for 6 months! It's too much of an ass! Initially, this seemed reasonable, but over time, I've come to view it as somewhat excessive. I'm sorry I have to do this. Despite this, I've recently bought a few more spaceships, and she discovered it, and now considering leaving me for good. I thought that by nearly restoring the savings I had spent, my grand treasures, our shared abundance, I had made amends for my actions. I genuinely enjoy collecting spaceships in the game. She's also concerned about my credit score and other financial issues, but I'm confident I can rectify those in the coming years, given that I've already managed to recover most of our savings through extra work. In the coming years! In the coming years, dude! I'm struggling to understand if I'm in the wrong for breaking what now seems like an arbitrary promise, or if her reaction to leave over what I consider my primary hobby is unjustified. He doesn't deserve coming years! 100% the asshole, he couldn't even handle 6 months. I mean, absolutely, he does have, I wouldn't say like gambling addiction, but like he is, I feel like this could be an addiction. Wanna know what's worse? Apparently you can earn in-game currency to purchase ships if you just take the time to do it. You don't even need to buy anything in the game. Yeah. When Warhammer 40k is a cheaper hobby, you know it's sad. Oh! Addiction or man-child? Both can be true. According to his comments, he spent at least $15,000. He doesn't actually know. Bitch, I'll build you an IRL spaceship if you give me 50K right now. You know, Bangarang, that's impressive as hell. And also very sad that someone with the ability for astrophysics to build a spaceship is hurting for $15,000. So NASA needs better funding, but also I didn't promise it would fly. I want to stay true like the game he likes. Yep. Getting like real with it for a second. OP has a problem, and instead of realizing that problem is pushing people away that love him. So it's unfortunate and kind of sad, but also you gotta be conscious of that, you know? Yeah, so yes, the asshole, please get help. And not to be insensitive, but Star Citizen, if you would like to choose our next keyword search term, just enter the word galaxy. Beanie Gaby. Beanie, what's our keyword? Give it to me. Let's go leaves. What do we got for leaves? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. We've read all of these so far. Not that. So leaves gets us so much that is, oh yeah. I'm gonna try a leaf. What? Am I the whole for leaving a bad review on a small store? So my boyfriend and I have a tradition for our anniversary that we each go to a store. Oh, okay. We each go into a store, separate, and we meet up after to buy each other gifts we exchange in the car. It's silly and cute. We walked into this new mom and pop anime store. I'm a huge anime nerd. My boyfriend likes video games, which they also sell. We separate and I go look at stuff for my boyfriend. A worker walks up to me and starts chatting, then points at my leg. I have a pretty big tattoo of Kakashi from Naruto on my thigh, among other anime tattoos. He asks if I got that from my boyfriend, and I said no, I've always loved Naruto, and then showed him my other tattoos, which included the Leaf Village symbol, Gara for the Sands of Gord, and a piece of my arm of Asama Sarutobi. I probably butchered that that pronunciation. I'm so sorry. He started quizzing me on the lore of anime. I wouldn't have spent $1,000 on tattoos of an anime I didn't know about. And I didn't appreciate him trying to catch me in a gotcha moment. He told me he didn't believe a girl could ever fully understand the real story of Naruto and the depth behind it. I told him I didn't need his services and he can go back to the front desk. He told me I was a, quote, rude wannabe bitch, and walked into the back, and I continued purchasing my items. I left a review later. TLDR, if you're a feminine presenting person, enter with caution. One of the employees will call you a bitch when you don't want to prove your nerd cred to him. The owner left a comment on my review asking for an email conversation and asked that I take down my review because people have started complaining about this employee as well, and his sale revenue has dropped. Then fucking fire him! No, fuck you! Fuck off! Let's have a conversation in private. Please take down your review so that I cannot have any consequences to my actions. I told him I wouldn't, and maybe he shouldn't hire misogynists if he doesn't want bad reviews. My friends tell me I'm overreacting. Your friends are fucking suck then. Stand your fucking ground to this fucking store being terrible and gatekeeping women from entering this space. Fuck you. Not an overreaction at all, dude. Not the asshole, as if Naruto has some grand epic that's hard to understand. A 12-year-old could understand it. All right, chat. For $45,000, I will send to you a 3D rendering of my home, so you too can basically live in my house. I will send you a 3D blueprint of my house, complete with a video tour walkthrough, so that you can be as close to my home as you would want to be. $45,000. Shit, for $45K, I'll send you a 3D model of Beeps' asshole. For $45K, we're going